In 1441, Prince Henry of Portugal sponsored Anteo Goncalves and Nuno Tristeo's hunting expedition on the west coast of Africa. Zurara, a Portuguese courtier, wrote about their voyage in his chronicle, stating that the trip took place when the kingdom had achieved civil peace, as mentioned in D. Pedro's March 12, 1441 letter. This means that Prince Henry's hunting expeditions on the west coast of Africa can be dated back to March or April 1441. In April 1441, Nuno Tristeo met Anteo Goncalves in Rio do Ouro after following the route charted by the expedition that Prince Henry sponsored back in 1435. During this encounter, the two men kidnapped 38 Israelites and brought them back to Portugal. Upon the arrival of the first Israelite captives in Portugal, Prince Henry requested Pope Eugene IV to elevate the status of his raids along the West African coast to the level of a crusade. This move would legitimize enslaving captives within the context of crusading law. The Catholic Pope responded with the bull Ilias Q on December 19, 1442, which granted full remission of sins to all who participated in military expeditions against those they considered to be infidels. As a sign of his gratitude for the support and approval, Prince Henry delivered the first Israelite captives to Rome as a gift to Pope Eugene IV. This event marked the beginning of the worst atrocity in the history of humanity, the Atlantic slave trade. Prince Henry, who was nicknamed the Navigator, is credited with starting this brutal trade. In 593 BC, a prophecy was written stating that Ezekiel was commanded to lie bound with bands on his sides for 430 days. Each day was supposed to represent a year, and this was to serve as a proleptic enactment of the children of Israel serving a 430-year captivity. Interestingly, this prophecy was fulfilled in history between June 10, 1441, and June 19, 1865, which is now celebrated as Juneteenth. When we convert the dates mentioned above to the biblical 360-day year, we get 430 years or 154,800 days. However, when we use the modern 365-day year calculation, the same dates equal 424 years or 154,863 days. Although the modern calculation is 6 years shorter than the biblical 360-day year calculation of the same dates, the total number of days of both calculations remains close to each other. This means that regardless of the method of measuring a year, the duration of the captivity remained constant. It is also noteworthy that Christ's reference to the days of tribulation being shortened in Matthew 24 verse 22 alludes to the fact that Israel's 430 years of captivity would be reduced to 424 years. This reduction is attributed to the calendar change from a 360-day year to a 365-day year during the reign of King Hezekiah. During that time, Ahijah moved back the shadow of the sun by 10 degrees, which caused the calendar to shift. The Hebrew calendar is based on a 360-day year. The perfect, holy, scriptural year was made up of 12 months, with each month comprising 30 days, making a total of 360 days, the number of degrees in a circle. This is substantiated by several biblical passages, such as Genesis 7 verse 11 and Genesis 8 verses 3 to 4, which describe the duration of the flood. According to Genesis 7 verse 11, the rain started falling on the 17th day of the second month. In Genesis 8 verse 3, it states that the floodwaters began to subside, and on the 17th day of the seventh month, the ark came to rest on Mount Ararat. This period of time is referred to as 150 days. By dividing 150 days by 5 months, it becomes clear that each month was made up of 30 days, indicating that the year was 360 days long with 30-day months during the flood. Other passages in the Bible also suggest that the Hebrew calendar was based on a 360-day year with 30-day months. For example, Revelation 11 verse 2 and 13:5 refer to the Great Tribulation as lasting for 42 months or 3.5 years. Similarly, Revelation 11 verse 3 and 12:6 state that the Great Tribulation lasts for 1,260 days. If we divide 1,260 days by 3.5 years, we get 360 days per year. In addition, Daniel 7 verse 25, Daniel 12 verse 7, and Revelation 12 verse 14 all refer to the Great Tribulation as lasting 4 times, and half a time, which is equivalent to 3.5 years or 42 months of 30 days each. All of these passages point to the same conclusion, that the Hebrew calendar was based on a 360-day year with 30-day months.